This is John from J Innovation Garage in the. I ain't gonna go too hard on you this time. Peach, capital of the state, baby. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Wakey, wakey, handoff, snaky. Hello, I'm just checking in. Goat Raiders, I believe I'm early. Yeah! We done been goat already, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the delay. It was scheduled at 2 o'clock. I'm about 8 minutes shy. What's up? Oh, I gotta turn this stuff off. Hold on, hold on. Let me turn that off. Assassin. There we go. Boys and girls, I'm a little late. I was on the phone. I was on the phone with Mr. WTF Mike, and we was talking about cooking some brisket and some street tacos and all that good stuff. So y'all don't know all that. Y'all didn't know old JG know how to cook too. Come on now. Come on now. Hope everybody's doing a good day on Sunday. Sunday. What's up, Robin? Today is Sunday. Sunday. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, me and WTF Mike, we was talking about. Me and WTF Mike, we were talking about. We cooked the brisket yesterday. We cooked about a 4.56 pound brisket yesterday. Made some brisket subs. Man, I'm telling you what, good stuff. Now we're gonna do another brisket. We're gonna do some daggone street tacos. But boys and girls, let me find my water. And today's adventure is what's up, Scoot? Today's adventure is we are going to pull the C clips out of this 12 bolt rear end. So we're gonna be in some greasy situation today. Some grease. Boy, if you ain't never smelt no burn up rear end grease. Good stuff. Oh yeah, man. We had what's up, Chris? Goat Raiders in the house. Yes, sir. I appreciate about every bit of that. Man, I forgot to turn my phone and mute. I'm getting text messages. What's up, Skylar? Yeah, so we had a great birthday party yesterday for my middle son. He turned 18 yesterday. And then when I got the brisket cut, if you go back and watch the video where I told the butcher to cut the brisket, I said, yeah, cut it right there. He weighed the brisket up on the scale and it was 4.56, 4 pounds, 56 ounces, which that's crazy because my son was born at 4.56. You can't make this stuff up. Oh yeah, beef brisket. Woo! Yeah, so we had beef brisket subs yesterday with provolone cheese. Ooh, yes, sir. And then we had some Italian cream toasted coconut cream cheese cake. Yes, sir. Yeah, so you have to go back and watch that video. I did a video on it. No, 4 pounds, 0.56 ounces. 4 pounds, 56 ounces. So it's 4.56. Yeah. I said, right there, cut it right there. And he said, shoop. And it was 4.56. And then I posted the label. So, oh, yeah. I know one thing. I'm glad everybody tapping in today. I know y'all probably busy on Sunday, and I appreciate you joining in. It was like 90 degrees yesterday. It's like 56 today. It's crazy. Oh, weather changing. So let me finish my cracker. So, hey, just remember a little friendly reminder: no politics and no religion, and be respectful of people in the chat. Well, WTF Mike, he's out there, and he said it was snowing today. It woke up this morning, it was snow on the ground. So just remember, boys and girls, no religion, No politics. That's just your warning. If you keep doing it, I'm gonna have to put you in timeout. I'm gonna have to order you an Uber, put you in timeout. I'm gonna have to put you in timeout. Hey, Mike, I was just telling me and you were talking about some beef brisket. It's gonna rain tomorrow. I wish we need some rain here. All right, boys and girls, let's go out here and check it out. I'll show you what we got going on. Show you what we got going on. Show you what we got going on. All right, so what we got here, this is the ring. This is the ring. Explain it to you so you know how things are working on your vehicle. So this and the pinion is up there. The ring has a set of number of gears on it, and the pinion has a set of number of gears on it. When those two mesh together, they turn at a ratio. 373 gears, 411 gears, 308 gears, 510 gears, right? All that jazz, right? What's up, Kathy? So on a Chevrolet, it's a C-clip style, right? So you got this pin right here. This pin slides in, then you got this retaining fast holds it. When you pull, I'm hoping it comes out very easy. We don't have to get crazy. And then this pin, right? That pin, you see, right there's that pin. And then on the left side or the right side, let me get my light so you can see. Let me get my light so you can see. Let me get my light. Get my light so you can see. Don't knock them over, Jay. Don't knock them over. All right. So you got the little nipple right there. You see that nipple on the driver's side? That's the axle on that. So that pin keeps pressure in and sliding out. So what happens sometimes, this thing's a one-wheel peel, so all the power is transferred to one axle, one or the other, not a posi unit. This is, so when you spin the wheel, only one wheel spins. So when you do wheel spins, right? That's why we call it a one-wheel peel. It's not a posi unit. It's not a positive traction. It's not a limited slip. It's none of that stuff, right? So with that being said, it's not really, I mean, it's not really good, but it is good, but it ain't good. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you break the end of the axle, so if the end of the axle if the C-clip breaks, what happens is there's nothing holding this axle, right? There's nothing holding this axle. And then what happens is the axle all the way out. It did that to me in high school on a 64 Impala. The axle broke, the C-clip broke, and the whole axle just came right on out. And you look out there to the side, and it looks like you got a third leg hanging out there, right? Yeah, this is a snap-on light. Yes, 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 yes. So, yeah, so they make a C-clip eliminator, which kind of bases off of the Ford where it keeps the axle from sliding out. So, with that being said, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're on our way. I was going to say 50,000 subscribers, but man, we got to shoot for the moon. Our goal now is 100K. We're shooting for 100,000 subscribers. Oh, JG wants that silver plate. I want that silver plaque from YouTube. We're going for 100,000. That's where we headed, boys and girls. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to turn the camera around. I did put some gloves on because, man, that grease in there been in there since 1972. That stuff come out, look like molasses. It's just, and I don't even know if you want to eat that on your sandwich or your biscuits or your waffles or anything. Man, that stuff's nasty. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this pin out. Then we're going to push the axle in. The C-clip's going to fall. It's probably going to fall down into the bucket down here, the tray. Then we're going to slide each axle out. and then we're going to take the backing plates off. We're going to take them backing plates off because we're going to do a lot of things. We're going to do a disc brake conversion, and we're going to change these gears. Not now, but we're going to pull the axles out. We're going to change this gear assembly in here to a 373 Yukon gear with a limited slip. So let me go ahead and turn y'all around so y'all can see what's going on. And I guess we can do it that way. So if I turn it around, you'll be able to see me. All right, all right. Let me turn y'all around like James Brown. I need to give me. So y'all can get that point of view. Can y'all still see good right there? Because that's the whole purpose of this. That is the whole purpose of this. So y'all can see what's going on. We're in a good spot right now. Where we at? I need to get a thumbs up for everybody in here. Let me know. So I can keep on moving. Keep on moving. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. Ain't nobody said nothing. Oh, there's Assassin. He said we're in good shape. Peter said right here, she's in. Now I did do a little pre-workout before y'all got on here. I did break this loose. So I did break this little fastener right here. So you don't want to lose this. So there's the fastener and the lock washer. Now you do not want to lose this now. You do not want to lose this. So we're gonna put this over down. It's probably gonna be difficult. It's probably gonna be difficult. Probably gonna be difficult. Love. Might have to go get in here and get a love stick. Might have to go in here and get a love stick. Do like Happy Gilmore did when he was doing Happy Gilmore. Ball! Give you a little tappity tap tap. Tappity tap tap. Man, that's one thing I don't. That's one reason why I don't like working on greasy stuff. It's not that I can't work on it. I just don't like working. Let me take my coat off. Oh, greasy. Let me just. You got a brass. If you got a brass punch, that's even better. You know, funky monkey. Who knows about the Beastie Boys? The Beastie Boys. We're gonna give it a little tappity tap tap tap. See what we got going on. Give it a little tappity tap tap. Way. Well, that's great. Old tissue got all tissued up. Oh yeah. All right. All right now. Is old Jay doing something wrong? I can spin it. And I broke it loose before we start. Let's see what everybody say. I don't know what all that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't be that tight. Want it to go. No. Charge. Rolling in charge. So took the pin out. Pins out. Ah, look, I can't stand it. Ah, I can't stand it, boys and girls. I can't stand it. Let me go. Y'all hang tight. I got, what's up, boy? Y'all hang tight. Don't go nowhere. Don't hang tight. I got something. I got to go dig something out. I'm going to get it. Y'all hang tight. I know we're going to have a little pause intermission. So y'all just hang tight for just a second. I got to dig deep down in my repertoire of stuff. And we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it, boys and girls. Y'all just y'all just hang tight just a second. Hang tight. Just a second. We're gonna have a little small little intermission right here. Just a little quick intermission. On something. We're gonna figure. I'm looking for something. So y'all hang tight. Hang tight. Hang tight. I don't know what happened. All right, we back. We back, Jack. Let me go get another pair of gloves. Let me go get another pair of gloves. Always something. Always something. Got a phone call with you. Got a phone call with it. Just like I said, I got a phone call and the phone cut off and lost the line. I thought I had it in the back on. boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna try it again. I think we're good now. I got my phone in mute so nobody can't call. Where that chisel go? Man, this thing ain't never seen a. And sometimes sometimes grease holds stuff where, like, got a suction on it where it won't let it go. I'm not saying that that's the case, but and heck, I might not be doing something right. It has been a minute. It has been a minute since I've done this. So if I've missed something, somebody please say something. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. For sure. Oh yeah. Rear end grease. Man, that stuff stinks, boy. Sure does. So we took the lock pin, we took the lock bolt out. And this center pin is supposed to just slide right out. There's not a C clip, there's not a retaining clip. There's none of that stuff that holds it, but it feels like something's still holding it, but the bolt's not broke. That's the full bolt, so it's not broke off. There's the C clips. There's the other C clips. Like that. So it should. And my sister keeps calling me. I don't know what she wants. I might have to call her back. Hey, yeah. My sister keeps calling me. I hope she's all right. I mean, it ain't no mercy, but she didn't call me twice. Okie dokie. So there's the set pin that holds that pin in. So we're gonna give it a little tappy tap tap. Tap it a tap tap. Tap it. And this is an old daggone extension, so don't be freaking out and say, oh, why is he using that? Because it's just keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Let's see if we can spin it. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Sometimes from years of use, they tend to wear a lip on the pin, get a copper punch. Yeah, you're right, Daniel. I don't have a copper punch. Yeah, so I don't have a copper punch and I don't have a brass punch. I don't have a copper punch or a brass punch. So we're just gonna knock the piss out of it. We just gonna hit it like we own it. We're just gonna hit it like we own it. Oh, it's probably been in there since 1972. We're just gonna keep giving a little bit of tap. That's yep. That yeah. So it's not broke. It's not broken. I thought the same thing. But we'll look in there. We'll look in there. Hold on a second. We'll get something and fix. We'll check it out. I was thinking the same thing. That maybe it come out easy. It came out pretty easy. Um, that don't mean it ain't break off in there. You know, I'm not disagreeing with that. I ain't disagreeing with that. It's possible. It definitely is possible. It definitely is possible. It definitely is possible. It definitely is. I'm gonna get a piece of wire. We're gonna measure the depth, and then we're gonna go from there. And then we're gonna see. We'll see what we got going on. So this, what's up, Nelson? Because if that bolt's broke, it don't look like it's broke. Yeah, it don't. Yeah, it don't look like it's broken. Turn the extension around and hit it with the small end. Yeah, see the bolt? It don't look like the bolt sheared off. Looks like the threads run up just like a candy cane, like it's supposed to be. So I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's broken in there. All right, so turn the extension around and hit it with a small end. All right, we'll turn around and we'll hit it with a small end, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. See what happens. We'll see what happens. Like I said, boys and girls, everybody thinks it's easy, but so what he was saying a while ago is this thing, if it's been in here since 1972 and this thing just sits there and constantly spins, over time, it's going to create a lip where it won't fall out. And I know sometimes you have to clean up this barrier carrier so it slides in and slides out with no resistance. But over time, that thing just sitting there, just moving. Even though that set screw's holding it in there, it's sitting there just doing that. So it can make a lip, and it'd be hard for it to come out. So we're just gonna give it a little tappy tap tap. Give it a little tappy tap. Go the other way. Give it a little tappy tap tap. Now all this is coming out anyway, and it's getting a whole brand new unit, but we need to get the axles out. It feels like there's something holding it. Let's see if I can look up in there. Let me see if I can look up in there. I'm thinking that's broke. I'm thinking the bolt's broke. I think this bolt is supposed to be longer. Yeah, look. Look at that, boys and girls. That thing is short. Look at that. It's short. Can y'all see that? Hold on, let me see. No, get the damn light out of their way so they can see, Jay. All right, let me show you. Yep. I think the damn bolt fell in the box. Imagine that. There it is. All right. Can y'all can y'all see? I believe our adventures is about to be over, boys and girls. So let me turn this around right here. All right. So you see the length of this bolt? This bolt is supposed to go into this bolt or go into that pin, right? Let me turn y'all around. Let me turn y'all around. Let me turn y'all around so you can live with me. Let me turn y'all around so you can live with me. All right, let me turn this around. Let me show you. I'm gonna have to. We've been on there for like 35 minutes, so I'm gonna have to look online to see what the length of this bolt is supposed to be. Because let's just look right here. If you push on this, see that you push on it. This thing, this pin is supposed to slide in and slide out, right? So when I move it with my finger, you see that it's moving, but it ain't going nowhere. Now, this bolt right here is the keeper, right? Well, if you put that on there like that, that don't even reach the pin. You see that? It don't even reach it. So even though I took this out, and even though this don't even look like it's broken, it just don't make sense. And if it don't make sense, it usually ain't right. So I'm gonna have to go double check. I think this bolt is supposed to be long enough to go all the way to grab this, because this has a hole in it. So this bolt goes all the way in and keeps this bolt from sliding in and sliding out. So normally what happens, that's what it's looking like, Tulu. Tulu, that's what it's looking like. Well, how you would get that out, Tulu? We just take this bolt and this bolt out and take the whole center section out, right? See, since this thing's getting a ringing pinion anyway, uh, uh, yeah. Let's think about that for a second. It ain't a 9-inch, JG. So if you take this bolt and this bolt and this bolt out, this is going to let the carrier move, but the carrier is not going to come out because the axles. So even if you was to take these two bolts loose and rock it, you're still not going to get enough of play so the clips can fall out. So, with that being said, if this bolt, what do you say? Yeah. All right, hold on. I got something. I got something right here. Yeah, see that? That only goes in there. That only goes in there the depth of the bolt. The part that is left in there isn't the so it's got the nipple on it, Mike. Right. So it's got a nipple. That's I believe that's right. I believe that's I remember. So instead of being threaded all the way, it's just got a slick shank, a slick shank on the end. So when you slide that in there, that goes in there and it locks. And this part here is slick. Because if you look at this one, if you look at this, it doesn't look like it's broken. Doesn't look like it's broken, but it could be sheared off and it just sat there and just wiggled back and forth. Just wiggle it. Just a little bit. I want to see you wiggle it. Show a new one. I don't have a new one in my hand. I don't have a new one. It hadn't got here yet. I just wanted to pull the axles out so I could go ahead and do the disc brake conversion. I don't have the new one yet. Show the new one. Hey, what's up, Karen? What's up? Appreciate it, Goat Raider. Appreciate it. Goat Raider's in the house. Been goat struck. Hashtag goat struck. But if you look and you put that on there, that doesn't go all the way. And if it had a piece that comes off of this that holds this, keeps this from sliding out, so the pin don't drop. So the pin don't drop and the C clips don't drop. But you can clearly see that I can move it. And there's something still. You can still wiggle it. Hey, there's 87 people in here. If you have not hit the subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. We're like 50 away from hitting 10.5, and we're on our way to 100,000 subscribers, baby. We on our way. We're not thinking small no more. We're not thinking 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 70,000, 80,000. We are on our way to 100,000 subscribers, boys and girls. Oh, JG wants that silver plate. I want that silver plaque from YouTube. That's what I want. I don't ask for a lot. That's what I want. I want that silver. I want that silver plaque. That thing, that pin has got to be stuck in there. It's got to be. It's got to be. Only if you hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Don't go nowhere. Hold on a second. He said 8035 said only if you say yeehaw. Yeehaw! There you go. My initials are JG. And my birthday is tomorrow. Whose birthday is tomorrow? Whose birthday is tomorrow? Do you have a small magnet enough to go in? No, I don't have a small magnet that small. I mean, it'd have to be that. I don't have one that small. I don't have one that small. Hey, we over here. You asked. You asked for it. I give it to you. Pin magnet. Yeah, yeah. I need a pin magnet. That's for sure. That's right. That's right. I need a pin magnet. I sure do. If I had a magnet, I could slide it up in there and try to get it. Hey, I like that idea. Hey, let's see if that works. Hold on. Let me see if I can go get. I don't know if I got a strong magnet. I don't know if I got a strong magnet. Hey, that's a pretty good idea there, buddy. That's a pretty good idea. Look at this. That's a pretty good idea. Look at that. Look at that. I don't have a strong magnet. Boy, I had some brisket subs a while ago. Boy, I thought we had it. Man, I feel like I'm playing a daggone video game. I feel like I'm playing Operation. Nah, nah. I'm hitting them sides. I'm beating them sides up. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, nah. Well, I feel like this is what I was doing last night, beating them sides up. Nah, nah. I feel it. I feel it. That's what she said. I feel it. I feel it. I just don't think it's got enough captain juice. I'm giving it all it's got, Captain. I just don't think it's gonna pull it out. I did beat it up. You are right. I did beat it up. 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 I did put the daggone hammer on it though. So I could have scarred it. Man, where was you at 10 minutes ago when we needed this trick on the magnet? That's pretty cool right there. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I can feel it. All right, let's give it a little tappy tap the other way. I don't know. We'll just tap it tap. Tap it tap. We should have done that. Look, lesson learned. Don't go in ham. Don't go in like a bull in a china shop. Don't go in like a bull in a china shop. Don't go in like a bull in a china shop. Don't treat it like prom night. Treat it like you've been there a while. Treat it like you've been there a while. Channel surfing. Is that like car surfing? That is a pretty good idea. I like it. I don't think my sunlight has got enough juice. Now we can make a magnet with some copper wire and a battery. We can make a battery. We can make a magnet. But I don't think that now compressed air maybe blow around the pin, it might push it out. Yeah, that might. Well, if I've scarred the end of it, it might not come out. It might be in there. It might be in there bent, Mike. I might already bent it by driving that in. So the only other way is this is coming out because it's getting a locker or it's getting a limited slit from Yukon. So all this is coming out. The only other thing that I know is either leave it alone and let the rear end shop, when I take it to the rear end shop, let them deal with it, or we could take the drill and get the drill up here and run a drill bit in there and try to drill it. But then if I break the drill bit, now we got a broken pin and a broken drill bit. Hold on a second. Grab your stud welder, weld a stud to it. Lay the diff. We can't get the diff out. That's what we can't lay it on the side. It's still in the truck. Hey, I mean, that's a good idea. Um, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So we could take. I don't know if I don't have an angle drill. I got a regular drill. If we was to take the drill and get up here and try to run a drill bit in there to get it out, we could do that. Put some heat on it. Yeah, we could do that. We've come to the conclusion that the tit off of the set screw is broken off into the pin. So we could, if I put a drill bit up there and drill into here and just drill into this and drill the pin out, then we can go that way. Put some heat on it. Hey, there's 100 people in here. If you hadn't hit the subscribe button, I'd greatly appreciate it. We're trying to collaborate together to see. We just spitballing some ideas around because the bolt, the set bolt, see that? The end of the bolt is broken off into the pin. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, Grease Spot. I mean, that right there is supposed to have a pin on the end of it that goes in there, and you can clearly see that something is holding it up, right? Yeah, I mean that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I don't want to make more problems than I already have. For them to do it. I just wanted to do the disc brake conversion on it before I took it, but I guess it don't really matter now. We've gone as far as we can go today on this point, but I can still put the gas tank in. We can clean up the rear of the frame and go ahead and do the disc brake, do the gas tank conversion. We can do that. But all this has to come out. Well, actually, this pin has to come out, then the C clips have to come out, or that pin comes out, the C clips come out. We pull the axles out, and then we can take the drums off. Well, with that being said, we can't. My plan was to do that so we could put the disc brakes brackets on and just put the gunny wheels on. And I was trying to help them out by taking the drums off. Well, that ain't gonna work because now we got a problem right here because this thing is a 1972 C10. It's been sitting in a garage since 1996. So, with that being said, and the guy he does not want one wheel peel no more. He wants a posi unit. So to put a Yukon gear in it with 373s with a limited slip, all this has to come out. But for this to come out, you got to take the clips out. To get the clips out, you got to take that pin out. To get that pin out, we got to get this pin that's broken and this pin out. So before we can move this, we got to move that. Well, like Greasebot said, I know how to do rear ends. I know how to pull parts. I could do it. But if this was mine, if this was actually mine, I'd take a drill bit and I'd drill in there and we go ham on it. But this is not mine. It's a client's. So what I do for myself is not what I do for my clients. So the best situation, all this is getting replaced anyway, but we need to get this out without damaging it because this is a good carrier. We just need to get it out. So I don't want to damage it anymore. It's not that I won't. If you new to the channel, I'll tear up some crap and I'll fix it. But it's already $2,600 for them to do a rear end gear swap. So for them to take the axles out, new bearings, new seals, new third mirror, all this new is $2,500. That now, if I'd start tearing up more stuff, it's probably going to add more, and then it's going to have to cost more. Center punch the bolt and drill and drive it easy into the hole. Yeah. Hold on a second. It says the smartest guy in the room will let the guy experience handle that. That's what I have going. Yeah, you was tapping it, not really hitting it. Center punch the bolt and drill it. No, 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 no. So hold on. So let me take my gloves off and let me explain something. Hold on a second. Let me clarify some stuff. Hold on. Let me get my big donkey ass up. Let me get my big donkey ass up and let me explain something to you. Let me get my big donkey ass up. Hold on. Hold on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Let me clarify something. Let me clarify something. Let me clarify something. All right. This belongs to a client, right? This is not mine, right? I do this for a living, right? But I do paint and body, I do suspension work, I do all this stuff, right? If you're new to the channel, I do paint and body, I do it all. I know how to do mechanical stuff. I know how to do it, right? But I also know you can't beat a man at his own game, right? So here's the thing. This rear end here has drum brakes on it. The client wants to redo the brakes. Okay. Now, we're not redoing drum brakes, and the reason why we're not redoing drum brakes is because we're not redoing drum brakes. Drum brakes have their place, but we're not going to upgrade them. We're not going to fix them. So to redo these drum brakes, to buy all these springs, these clips, this wheel cylinder, all this stuff in here, every bit of this for both sides is pretty expensive, right? To fix all this, the drums, all that, you're going to spend, $500-$600, probably even more, to redo these drum brakes. Well, we've already did disc brakes, right? A 1972 C10 was the first year Chevrolet put disc brakes on a 1972 C10 pickup truck. They come stock, standard, with disc brakes on the front. We've already redone the disc brakes on the front. We done new disc brakes, drop spindles, new ball bearings, new upper and lower ball joints, new springs, and we done a 6-7 drop kit, right? We've already done that part. We done the back part as well. We put, this is a trailing arm system and not a leaf spring system. We put springs, a C-notch, and shocks. Now, he told me that he don't want one wheel peel. One wheel peels when you do a burnout, only one wheel spins. He wants a posi unit so he can leave double 11s on the road, right? So by doing that, you have to change the center member, right? This truck came stock with a straight 6 with a 3 on the tree. He is putting a 5.7 350 roller engine in it with a 700R transmission. Well, by doing that, the gear ratio in this truck is geared for a straight 6 with a 3 on the tree. So if he runs a small block 350, look at her. If he runs a small block 350, everything goes together. So if he runs a small block 350, now he's a V8, not a straight 6. He's running a 700R, which is a 3-speed with overdrive instead of a 3-speed. And he's running the stock rear end. This gear ratio in this stock rear end is 308. This thing would not, now, out of the hole, taking off, it wouldn't even pull a wet noodle out of a cat's ass. But on the other end, on the big end, he could probably run 85, 90 mile an hour and not even turning no RPMs because of the gear ratio. And also, if he runs a 28-inch tall tire. So if you run a 28-inch tall tire with a 308 gear, with a 700R, with an automatic, with an overdrive, this thing is not even going to be turning no RPMs at highway speeds. So you got to find the happy spot, right? Also, you got to match the cam profile. So he's going with a stage 2 cam, little hopped up cam. So you have to match the cam with the torque converter. The torque converter acts like the fluid balance clutch. So you got an automatic, you got the torque converter. It's filled up with transmission fluid, and once it gets to spin, the torque converter locks up and you go. If it's a manual, you got the clutch, the pressure plate, and all that mess, right? So if he's got a 700R with an overdrive, I'll catch up on the comments here in a second. If you're new to the chat, man, there's 218 people in here. Hit that subscribe button, boys and girls. We on our way to 100,000 subscribers. Let's get there. Be part of the family. Let's get it. So if you got a small block 350 with a little hot cam, you got a 700R, you got to match the torque converter to the camshaft. So everybody's riding together. Also, you got to match all that to the rear end gear. And he wants to run a 373 gear with a 28-inch tall tire. Not a 28-inch rim, a 28-inch tall tire. So the overall diameter of the tire from here to here is 28 inches. So if you take 28 inches, right, if he's running a 28-inch OD tire, you take 28 inches times 3.14, which is pi. So you say 28 inches, 28 times 3.14. So from here all the way around to here, that's the rollout. Roll out, roll out. That's how far it makes one revolution, right? So you have to take in consideration, a lot of these guys out here building these G bodies, these C10s, and all these trucks, they just throw parts together because they're on the internet and they listen to all these people that's talking out the side of their neck and they don't know nothing and they couldn't whoop their ass out of a wet sack if you tore a hole in the bottom of it. All this stuff goes together. So if you're running a 28-inch tall tire, then you say, all right, I'm running a 28-inch tall tire. Then you got your rollout, right? So a 28-inch tall tire to a 373 gear to a 700R transmission with the overdrive. Then you got your final drive. Then you go up here to the torque converter. Now, what kind of torque converter do you want? Well, you have to match the torque converter to the camshaft. So if the camshaft says you need a stall converter anywhere from 1800 RPMs to 2200 RPMs. What that means is when the revolution of the engine reaches 18 to 2200 RPM, the torque converter is going to lock up and you're going to engage and you're not going to have that lag and everything's going to take off where it needs to go. If you have a too big of a cam and not enough torque converter, you're going to be standing on the brakes at the damn stoplight and the vehicle's going to be trying to walk through the damn stoplight, or you're going to have to pop it in neutral and sit there in the stoplight because what's going to happen is the torque converter can't get engaged because the camshaft is making not enough vacuum. And if you run them disc brakes with a power brake booster, the power brake booster requires a vacuum. And if the engine is not making enough vacuum to pull the vacuum on the power brake booster, and you go to put your foot on the pedal to stop at the stoplight, your vehicle is going to walk through the stoplight. Now, an engine, only thing an engine is an air pump. That's all it is. 4-cycle air pump. That's all it is. Takes air in, takes this, compress, spark, fire, exhaust. That's all it is. It's just a big air pump. How fast you can get air in, how fast you can get air out. So if the camshaft is not letting the engine make enough vacuum, then you can't run accessories. So there's a lot of stuff involved in this by just talking to somebody on the YouTube, see somebody's got a cam in their vehicle and say, oh, listen to that thing, chop, 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 chop. It ain't doing nothing but chopping. It ain't doing nothing else. It ain't doing shit. It ain't doing anything because somebody on the internet told them to order a daggone magic stick or a bump stick or a 3/4 racing cam, and they don't even know nothing about nothing. Then they wonder why I pull my car out there and that thing won't do nothing, because everybody has to go together. Everybody has to go together. Everybody has to go together, right? So for the back to the brakes, the drum brakes, right? Back to the drum brakes. There's no sense in investing in these drum brakes because they're not really efficient. So what we're going to do, boys and girls, we are going to put a disc brake conversion on the back. We're going to put a disc brake conversion on the back so he has disc brakes, just like we did on this 9-inch. Disc brakes. So now this is a little upgrader version. These are aluminum calipers, 3-pace rotors. This is a little bit, this right here is Bloomingdale's. This is Bloomingdale's. This is Walmart. Every bit of this you can buy off the shelf at AutoZone. These are GM style calipers with an external Mercy brake. These are GM rotors. All this, we're going to take every bit of this, and here's the brackets that I wanted to put on today. But you got to get out of there. Come on, girl, give it to me. Come on, Jay gonna stand on it like business. See these brackets right here? These brackets have to bolt right here. Well, they can't, two things can't occupy the same space. So these drums have to come off. Well, you can't take the drums off because the axles are here and you got the retaining plate. So, shut up! So you have to take those C-clips out so you can slide the axles out. Then once you slide the axles out, you can take this backing plate and all this and all that and throw it in the dumpster. Like Easy-E. Throw it in the gutter and go buy another. Well, we are easy. We're going to buy this. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take this, and this goes like that and bolts to this, to that, and then the calipers bolt on that. So when it's all done, it's going to look like that. Sort of. This one's a little bit different, but you get the concept, right? So then your caliper is going to be hanging on there. And now you got a disc brake system. Now you have upgraded your system to a 4-wheel disc brakes, which is a better situation for you. So, and then when you run 373 gears, 373 gears is kind of the universal, what everybody, 355s and 373. That's a good combination with a 28-inch tall tire, with a little stage 2 cam, with a 2200 stall converter, and this truck will be able to ride, go anywhere it wants to, have good vacuum for brakes. It'll have good reliability. He can run 75, 85, 90, 100 mile an hour, and he can fall out in traffic. Everything will be super, super great. Everybody will mesh together. Everybody will ride. Everybody will be like they need to be, right? But to get to that point, we got to get that out. So now we got that little pin that's broke, and now we're at a pause. So I'll catch up on the comments here in a second. I ain't even been looking at them because I don't want to get sidetracked. So what we'll do is we'll put the bolt back in there. We'll put the cover back on there, and then we'll bolt the gunny wheels. We'll bolt the gunny wheels back on it. Hush! What is it, Hollywood? You big fat donkey. We'll put the we'll put all this stuff back together, and we'll put the gunny wheels back on it. And when we take it to the rear end shop, they'll take everything out, and we'll just let them do it and deal with it. But what we can still do later on today, I guess, we can take this bracket out, and we're going to do a rear tank conversion. On a C10 truck, the gas tank is behind the seat, just like on the F100. Well, here's the new tank. Here's the new tank for that. And now you need to change the proportion of valve that is below the. Oh yeah. Hey Donald, that is a great suggestion. So with this kit that I get, I get a inch and an inch and a quarter bore Corvette style master cylinder. I get the disc brakes. I get the Mercy brake cables. I get the rubber flex hoses. I get the new brake booster. I get the new brake booster. I get the bracket for the pedal. And also, just like you said, that was a good suggestion. I get a new proportioning valve with the brake switch light and the hoses and everything else. So this is for a four-wheel disc brake conversion. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. So this kit right here, this right here is about $700. And then the 1-inch bore master cylinder, it's already out there on the truck. So we got that. So you got a 1-inch bore master or inch and a quarter Corvette style master cylinder reservoir. Then you got the small booster, the 7-inch booster. Then you got the bracket that bolts to the firewall, and that bolts to that. You get the Mercy brake cables. You get the rubber lines for the back. You get the calipers loaded with the pads already with the external Mercy brake. I like running the external Mercy brake, and the reason why is because it allows you to keep running a 15-inch wheel on the back. If you go to the calipers that have the internal Mercy brake, it's on the inside, almost like a drum, and you have to run a bigger rotor, and you can't run a 15-inch rim. So if this guy wants to run old school 15-inch rally wheels, he can still run them with this setup. If you go the other way, you can't run a 15-inch wheel because the caliper hits inside. So that's that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. So let me catch up. Yeah. Also, yeah, that's it. Also, when they do the rear end gear, I'm doing a C-clip eliminator as well. So they're using a Yukon center member, ring and pinion, new seals, new gaskets, new pinion bearing. Everything in the center will be new. New bearings on the outside, new seals on the outside, and also a C-clip eliminator. So that makes it like a 9-inch, because if a 9-inch breaks, if an axle breaks on a 9-inch, if the axle is the brake, the axle's still gonna stay in there. On a GM, if the axle breaks, it slides out. So I do all C-clip eliminators on everything. So if it's a 12 bolt. So let's see. Let me go back and see. Uh right there. Right there. Right there. Yep. All right, let me catch up on the. It doesn't. I bet you did. So parking a lot of cams. Put meatball frame. Floating valves. Wow, I'm blown. I'm running 430 power glide 20s. Hey, what's up? What's up, Coker? Beyond my learn amount, that's a lot of bit of information. What all those for you? And it says, I know what all those parts are, and you know them like the back of your hand. Attaboy. Everything should be built a system. 71 was the first year. 71 was the first year of disc brakes. All right, yeah. Do you have a dial indicator? I do, but All right, so let me kind of clarify a little bit of stuff. I can do it. I can do it all here, right? I can do it all. I choose not to do certain things because oil and grease and paint and body don't mix. I don't like getting too much of the greasy stuff around stuff. Yeah. So when I was just doing mechanical work, yes, do all that dial indicator, all that stuff. Machining, all that. CNC, I still do CNC stuff, but um I have a lot of people in my area that do certain things, right? I got a guy that all he does is rear ends and he does rear ends and manual transmissions. That's all he does. That's all he does. All day, every day, twice on Tuesday, and every day that ends in Y. That's all he does. So I try to share the stuff, like try to, as they say, share the wealth. Share the wealth. Like if I got something going on and I got a guy that I trust that's down the road and I know he does it every day, all day, every day, I'll say, hey, look, man, I got this going on. You be interested in doing it? And he's like, oh yeah, man, I got a opening one day next week. I need to fill some hours. Well, absolutely, you can take it. So I kind of just sub it out. My clients are cool with that because they put in my faith to do what I need to do, and I send it on down the road. Like I have several engine guys. TKM is my number one. TKM Performance. That is like Bloomingdale's. Then I have some other shops that are like Walmart and Dollar General. So it all depends on what you want. So uh, for, I don't talk numbers on here. I did the other night when I was talking about how fast you can spend $50,000 on parts. I'm not going to revisit that. But for example, this right here is the engine for this 1972 C10. This guy's daddy built this engine in 1996. It is a 014 block, which it could be either a 2-bolt or a 4-bolt main. It has 882 heads on it, which I told you guys when we picked it up. I guarantee you this thing's got emission heads on it. So it has a 19, it has 882 heads on it, junk. Emission chokes the junk. Don't know if it's a 2-bolt main or a 4-bolt main until we flip it over. His dad put an aluminum intake on it with a 600 CFM, 650 CFM Elderbrock carburetor, right? I pulled the valve cover off the other day, and it is confirmed it's a 882 heads, and it has an old HEI style distributor. So he wants to redo all that because he was asking me, so how much horsepower you think that thing's got? 150 to 200 horsepower, soaking wet if lucky. I mean, if we lucky. Nah, man, I can't hit the streets like that. What do you suggest? I suggest doing a top end kit. Now, this thing's got a hydraulic flat tappet uh, cam in it. I will not, my engine builders will not do anything with a hydraulic flat tappet cam unless it's a race car. And they don't even like doing that. Will not do it. So, need to do a roller cam conversion, a nice set of aluminum heads, a nice cam, the lifters, all that. The top end kit has to match it themselves. And you put it on there, and then now he's already got a 650 carburetor. So he's like, keep that carburetor. It's brand new, but it's never had gas running in it, but it's been sitting on this engine since 1996. So, do we spend the money to clean that carburetor out to see if it ain't corroded on the inside from oxidation from aluminum and setting? Even though he's taped it all up, you still have to go through it. So, now you have to build the engine. He wants about 425 to 450 horsepower. All right, so can we achieve that with a 650 carburetor? I don't know. It'd be pretty close, right? There's a formula you have to figure up. First you figure it up to 90% efficiency flow rate. Then you take it down to 75%. At 75%, at 5,000 RPM, max RPMs, you figure all that out. What's this? What's the airflow? What's this? What's that? What's that? And everybody goes together. Same thing on engines. Everything goes together. The cam, the heads, the headers, the intake, the fuel system, everything goes together. These guys out here doing LSs, oh, I'm gonna put this bump stick in here and then it don't run right because nothing is lined up with everybody. It's just because you've seen something online. You think, oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. My buddy did one. It sounds real good. Yeah, but it still couldn't pull. It couldn't pull his ass out of a wet sack if it wanted to. Shit has to go together. You have to follow the basic orders of operation when you're doing shit. You can't just throw parts at it like spitballs and see what sticks. You can't do it. You're just wasting money. So find your research, find somebody that's actually, something else that bothers me? There's people on YouTube that will follow people, and me and Willie Rebuild, we agree with this. People on YouTube will follow people, and whatever they say is the gospel. It's the gospel. But they hadn't built shit in their entire life. Nothing. Absolutely have not built shit in their entire, have not built anything in their entire life. And then they'll say, well, I used to do this back in the day and I used to do that. Well, if a frog didn't have wings, if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass when he hopped too, now would he? That don't count. Just because you did something in 1985 when you were 16 years old, that doesn't count. What counts is somebody that does this every day of their life, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, every day that ends, every day of the week, every day that ends in Y, and twice on Tuesday. Every single day. Every single. Now, I'm not saying I know everything. If I don't know something, I look it up, I find their answers. But what drives me crazy is you can give people information that you know works, knows it don't work, and is tried and true, and they will blow you off like they did that crack pipe on Friday night, or whatever they do, and they will believe somebody that pops up on YouTube and tries to do stuff and do this and don't know shit, couldn't whoop their ass out of a wet sack. It drives me insane. If you guys, I'm telling you right now, let me tell you something. Oh yeah, there's levels to everything in life. You got Dollar General, you got Walmart, and you got Bloomingdale's. Absolutely 100%. Absolutely 100%. Right. So this truck right here is a 1972 C10 pickup truck. It has a 6.7 drop kit from Switch. It has a 6.7, 6 inches in the front, 7 inches in the back. It has a 6.7 drop kit. 6.7. The drop kit comes with 2-inch spindles, comes with shocks, comes with springs, it comes with a C-notch, it comes with springs, and it comes with shocks in the rear. This right here will drop your 72 C10 truck 6 inches in the front, 7 inches in the back. I would consider that Walmart. That's Walmart. That's Walmart level. Now, let's roll in here and look at this 70 F100 pickup truck. This is a 71 F100 pickup truck. This is a 6.7 drop kit. This is from QA1. This is Bloomingdale's. It's still a 6.7 drop kit, but it's Bloomingdale's. Tubular A-arms, sway bar, power rack and pinion, coilovers, 3-inch drop spindles, full cradle, full engine mounts. Come to the rear, full cross member, track bar, link bars, coilovers, Z-bar, center strut member to hold the rear end, all that. This is Bloomingdale's. Same thing with a fuel tank. This is a 21-gallon fuel tank that's relocated to the back of the truck. This is Bloomingdale's. The 72 C10, same concept. Same concept. Same concept. This is a kit from Autometal Direct. This is the whole kit from Autometal Direct. You get the gas tank, you get the filler neck, you get the gas cap, you get the sending unit, you get the 2 springs, and you get the straps. This is Walmart. Same concept. It holds fuel. It gets fuel from point A to point B. This is Walmart. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this. This is Walmart. This is Bloomingdale's. Now, I don't even know what damn Dollar General would even category on that. There is different levels. My whole point is people listen to people in life and YouTube and they swearing down it's the gospel and they don't know nothing. And then you got people that do it for a living, have done it every day of their life, and they try to give free information out, and people just don't want to listen. And that's okay. Maybe Macy's. Maybe. Hold on a second. Let's see. Hold on a second. 6'7", 6'7", 6'7". I got my girl behind all it. Let's see. Yeah. Hold on, let's see. Different levels. Hold on, I'm gonna come back to you, Herb. Herb 9916. I'm gonna come back to you. Hold on a second. I'm catching up on the comments. Uh oh yeah, there ain't no way I over here, baby. I'm real deal. I consider Bill to be millions. Some dudes have some dudes have done a lot with a little as well. Oh yeah, absolutely, Trucker Tom. Absolutely. Where do you buy a remanufactured chassis? Uh, well, this right here is actually the factory chassis. So if you'll go back to some of the old lives, this is the factory F100 chassis. I cut out all of the factory suspension, everything, the cross member. This truck had twin I-beam system. I cut every bit of that out. I cut the leaf springs out. I cut all that. I drilled out all the rivets. We media blasted the chassis. We 2K HP 662 Tampco epoxy black. Then we done Tampco's single stage chassis black. The client bought all the QA1 stuff, and then we installed the QA1 stuff. So this is the original. You see, it's pitted. This is the original 1970 F100 pickup truck, and it's a long bed. He wanted to keep it a long bed. So this is the factory chassis. I just cut all the factory suspension out. So go back and watch some of the old videos just from a few weeks ago, and you can see that. Um, yeah. Um, so this is the factory chassis, and then on the '61 Ford box truck, this right here was this. I'm working on this too. Go back and check this out. This is the 1961 Ford box truck, which it had a 1958 F100 twin I-beam Ford pickup chassis underneath that was cut down to 88-inch wheelbase. I took that chassis out and built a whole new chassis underneath it. So you have to go back and watch some of them old videos not too long ago. Still ain't cleaned my mess up. We done all the sealing the other week. We put aluminum sealing in it, done all the bead rolling on the dash. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts. It says, what if you can't find the original chassis? Well, if you can't find the original chassis, there's a lot of people out there like GSI, they make aftermarket chassis. Fat Fab, they make a lot of aftermarket chassis. American Roadster Shop makes a lot of aftermarket chassis. You can just Google aftermarket chassis for pretty much whatever, and there's a lot of companies out there that are making full-blown aftermarket chassis. Um, Cornfield Customs, yeah, don't forget about Cornfield Customs. If you're coming through, please double tap screen. Uh, so yeah, there's 180 people in here, man. Hit that subscribe button, boys and girls. Hit that notification. I'd greatly appreciate it. So there is a lot of moving parts. It's like juggling cats by the tail. I mean, it really is. Back to the guy that said leaf spring. Yeah, I think the trailing arm system on the C10 trucks ride the best. I think that this is a trailing arm system instead of the leaf spring system. I truly like the trailing arm setup. It rides a whole lot better than the leaf springs, in my opinion. So now this truck here, it's going to be a nice truck. Now he don't want to media blast the frame. He don't want to do any of that. So we're going to take all the brake lines out. We're going to redo. I got all new brake lines, got all that stuff. We're going to clean it up with a wire wheel real good. And then we're going to paint some chassis black over it. And we'll probably take a lot of stuff off because in the beginning he didn't want to paint it. And I was like, man, if we need to paint it, we need to paint it now before we start putting new parts on it. So once we got all the new, and see, and I'm kind of mad at myself because I've been doing this for like 30 years, and I know how people do. I know how people act. I know how people react. I know when things are starting to go bad. I can feel it in my gut. I can read people's body language. I know I got a lot of stuff. I got degrees in psychology, sociology, human behavior. I know it. I know how to read body language. I know how to read the room. I'm the thermostat. I'm the thermostat. And I know better. I know better. I know better. And I asked, and sometimes you can't be like Burger King and give clients too many options because they'll have your ass running ragged. They'll have you running ragged. You either say, we're doing it this way or not, and we be done with it. Right? Even though they're paying the bills, sometimes if you let them micromanage you to death, you'll never get done with nothing. So I knew better. I knew better. And I said, when we had this thing down and there was no suspension on it, it was just bare bones, like it was just bare hanging. I said, now's the time if we're going to paint this thing, we need to paint it. Even if we paint it with some monocoat from Tampco, it's a DDR, which is a direct to rust. We can pressure wash it really, really good. Clean it with oven cleaner. Clean it really, really good. Put it in the booth, mock it up, and spray it. No, no, I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to do any of that. Okay, fine, fine. So when I done all the suspension stuff on there, and they come by and looking at it, and then they get looking at the chassis, and they're like, "What is all this?" And I was like, "That's what it looked like after I pressure washed it." Well, see, before I pressure washed it, it was covered in grit, grime, and grease, and road tar, and everything from 1972 all the way to 2026. So when I pressure washed it and cleaned it up, now you can see, oh, I got all of her makeup on, and that ain't what she looked like last night at the club. That ain't what she looked like when I picked her up behind the Dollar Tree, like the guy said. That ain't what she looked like. No, because now you got all the makeup off of her. That's what she looks like now. Or him, whatever. We got it. What we gonna do? Man, can we paint that? Yeah, we can paint it. But now we got to go back and go to Dollar Tree or or Walmart. Here's where Dollar General comes in play. We go to Dollar General, we buy all their aluminum foil, all of it. We go buy all the aluminum foil they have at Dollar Tree and Dollar General. What's aluminum foil, Jay? Well, the aluminum foil is we come in here with aluminum foil and you wrap all this stuff with aluminum foil. You just wrap everything with aluminum foil so you don't get overspray on it. Now, the brake lines and stuff, we're not really worried about because we got new ones. Mercy brake cable, we got new ones. But all this stuff here, you can take this stuff off or you just wrap it up in aluminum foil. Just wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Then we come in here and we spray everything. Now, the aluminum foil is protecting to get everything with overspray on it. Now, lesson learned. The next time I do this, I won't give them an option. Say, we either paint it now or we don't paint it at all. We either paint it now when she's naked, or we don't paint her when she's got clothes on her. She's got clothes on her, I want to paint her. Nope, not doing it. Absolutely not doing it. Not going back. Not going back. Not going back. So on this tank relocating kit, what we got to do is we're going to cut these rivets off right here. We'll cut this rivet off. We're going to take this bracket out, and that gas tank sits right here in this hole. That gas tank is based on a Suburban and a K5 Blazer. And that gas tank's going to go right here, and it's 21 gallons, and it'll be just like the F100, but it's going to be at the back. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be right here. And then we got the new brake lines. We got the new fuel lines. We got the Mercy brake cable. We got all that, and we'll do that. But I'm not going to paint this thing. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not even going to, we're going to mock up the tank probably tomorrow. We'll get it mocked up. We'll see how it looks in the way, and then we'll get the tank in it. And then when it gets back from the rear end shop, then we will clean it up, we'll paint it, and we'll do all that. We'll make it a nice situation. He still hadn't figured out what wheels he wants. He's running some old school stuff. I tried to get him to run like some 20-inch rims. The excuse me, the Chevrolet Rally wheels, the oversized ones that McCoy's makes them, but US Mag makes them too. They're a little bit budget friendly. If you go to McCoy, that's like Bloomingdale's. They get a little higher, but US Mag makes some that are oversized, so they look just like the old school rally wheels for the pickup trucks with the little slots. but they're plus sizes, like 20s. And he's like, man, I don't want to run no 20-inch rim. And I was like, why? He's like, man, I don't. And then this is what kills me. He's like, man, I don't want to run no big wheel. And I'm like, well, you're driving that F100 pickup. You're driving that Chevrolet pickup truck. Well, yeah. Well, it's got 20-inch wheels on it. No, it don't. I said, yeah. Chevrolet Silverados come factory. The LTZs come factory with a 20-inch rim. You sure? I was like, yeah, dude, I'm sure. So why not run a 20-inch rim? So here's something else you got to think about, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Here's something else. Everything has its place, right? Let me get a little bit of supplement. Hold on. Everything you have to think about everything. It's like 4D chess. It's not checkers, right? It's 4D chess. So if you want to run a 15-inch rim because you want to support old school, that's great. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Well, see, when I was doing this truck, I had a feeling in that, so that's why I didn't get 2.5-inch drop spindles. Because if you run a GM 2.5-inch drop spindle in the front, which is this right here, this is the spindle, right? This is the spindle, right? This is the spindle. If you run a 2.5-inch drop spindle, what that does is that brings the ball joint down even further. And when you go to run a 15-inch wheel, guess what? That lower control arm is not going to fit with a 2.5-inch drop spindle. It's not going to fit. A lot of people don't understand that when they go to order stuff. So this truck here has got 2-inch drop spindles. Hey man, I appreciate that. This has got 2-inch drop spindles with 3.5-inch springs. They call them 3.5-inch. They call it a 5.5 kit, but it's actually 6, but it's actually 5, and it's a little bit over 5. So you got a 3-inch spring and a 2-inch drop spindle. 3 and 2 make 5, right? So, but they call it a 6-inch kit because once it settles in the engine, once it settles, it's going to be about 6 inches in the front and about 7 in the back. So when you're running a 2-inch, you got to be careful because I thought, well, this guy said he's going to run his stock rally wheels, which are 15x7s. Well, he can't run a 3-inch, a 2.5-inch drop spindle. They even make a 3-inch drop spindle, and you definitely can't run nothing but a 20-inch rim. Well, here's my thoughts on rims and tires. If you want to run an old school wheel and tire, a 14-inch, a 15-inch, a 15, you want to run a 15-inch wheel, that's fine. You can do that all day, every day, and twice on Tuesday. It's not a problem. Here's the issue: tires. 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, 17 and a half. I think Ford makes a 17.5-inch rim. I mean, I don't know what the hell they was thinking when they was doing that crap. And then you got an 18. 18 is pretty common because you got 18-inch wheels on like your small passenger cars, some of your SUVs, stuff like that. So you got to think availability, right? You got to think availability. Long term, 4D chess, boys and girls, not checkers, 4D chess. So if he's going to run a 15-inch rim, then they still make 15-inch tires, but they're not common no more. So it's not a common tire. So therefore, supply and demand. The demand is low. So the supply is low. So the price goes up, right? Supply and demand. You learned that in like 5th grade if you paid attention. Supply and demand. So if you run a 20-inch rim, which all your trucks and stuff, like your Chevrolet trucks, your Ford trucks, your SUVs, all that stuff, they run a 20-inch rim. That's basically standard now, 20-inch rim. So you have a lot of different tire sizes in 20-inch tires. So he could run, if he wanted to, he could run 18s in the front and he could run 20s in the back. Now he's got that little old school staggered drop, which would look cool because it's 6 inches in the front and 7 in the back. So if you wanted that little static drop in the front where you got that little rake, that 1-inch rake to the front, you could run 18s in the front and then you could run 20s in the back. Well, here's what you're going to have to do. It's a little bit more thinking. So whatever the tire size you run in the front, say it's a 245, say it's say you want to run a 225 45 18 in the front, right? 225 45 18 in the front. And then you get the OD of that tire, right? So let's say the OD of that tire, I don't know, I'd have to do the math. So let's say you got a 215 45 215 45 18 tire on the front. So you take that OD size, the OD of the tire on the front, and then you need to match that OD to the back. So you're going to run a 20 in the back. So you have to do the math and the calculation. They got apps you can do and just cheat, but I do it on paper and then I check the app to make sure the app's right. You find a 20-inch tire. Say you want to run a 12-inch tire in the back. So that's going to be a 305 or a 315. So you want to run a 315 or a 305 in the back. So you want to run a 305 20 in the back. Well, you got to find that middle number. That middle number is the ratio. So the middle number on your tire size, if you go a 315, 45, 20, that middle number is the ratio of the width of the tire. So you figure up the diameter of the front, and then you say, well, I want to run at least a 305 tire in the back, right? A 305. That's 305 millimeters left and right. I want to run a 10-inch tire. So that's a 275. So say you want to run a 275 in the back, 275 tire, 275 width, a 20-inch tire. What's my ratio? Then you have to do the math. So the back tire and the front tire is the same OD. So your front tires are turning the same revolution as the back tires. There's a lot of thinking thing. So so I don't really do that to clients that are not really car people because they don't understand that. And by changing that on these trucks right here, the speedometer is run off of the speedo gear in the transmission. So the gear in the transmission that runs up to your speedometer is what dictates your speed, but it also dictates your speed of the rear end gear and the tire ratio, the tire diameter. Remember a while ago we saw he's going to run a 28-inch tall tire. You got a 28-inch tall tire. You got 373 gears. Well, those have to correlate with the gear that's in the transmission. They're different colors: green, yellow, red. And then you're like, okay. And then you have a gear on the tail shaft inside. It's plastic. We replaced the one on the Impala, and that tells that, and it turns the cable and it turns the speedometer. So your miles per hour are right when you're going down the road, and your mileage is right when you're clicking 0 miles. There's a lot of moving parts in this shit, and there's a lot of people in old schools, their gauges don't even work because they don't even know how to get to this point. So in this guy's aspect right here, and his aspect, we want to keep it simple and the most less complex as possible. Run 20-inch rims all the way around. So when you go to get the vehicle's tires rotated, you do them in an X pattern. You tell them to take this tire here, go to the front. You take that tire right there, you go to that front. You bring that tire to the back, and you bring that tire to the back. So it's a I call it a modified X. So you take that tire, the driver's side rear, and put it on the passenger side front. You take the one on the passenger side rear and put it on the driver's side front. You take that tire right there and bring it straight back to that tire. You bring that tire and you bring it straight back to that tire. And then you drive a little bit, and then the tires wire like they're supposed to. Then when you rotate them again, you do it the exact same way, and you keep doing it. If you want to do it that way, normally what I'll do is let me stand up. Normally I'll take this tire and put there, that tire and put there. Take that tire and go there. Take that tire and go there. And I'll do that twice. And then the next time I do it, I'll rotate everybody. I'll go everybody moves one spot like musical chairs. Doop, 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 doop. And you do that right there. So, so that's that, right? So if we run a 20-inch tire all the way around this thing, it doesn't matter. If you run the same tire size on the front and the same tire size on the rear, you don't have to worry about mismatching tires. You don't have to about rotating stuff. You don't have to worry about anything. Just keep it simple. Make it less complex. So now he told me the other day he wants to run a rally wheel. Well, that's fine. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. And then I said, well, why don't you run a plus rally, a 20-inch rim? So we got to talking about that. And then when I showed him, he's like, he says, man, I didn't even realize that. See, a lot of people that don't do this every day, they don't know. I mean, I can do this, I can do metal, I can do vinyl, I can do carpenter work. I mean, I build every bit of this. I put all this stuff up here. Me and one other guy put all these rafters up, these laminated beams. So, um, hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a little nylon gear. Yep, it's a little nylon gear. That's right. That's right. So everybody has to go together to everything makes to go right. And a lot of people's like, you know what? Just forget it. I'm gonna download a GPS app and put it on my phone and put it on my windshield, put it on my phone, and I'll know how fast I'm going. Yeah, but that's not right, man. You need to fix it. You need to fix it. So there is a lot of moving parts on vehicles. So when people's like, oh, yeah, that's fine, you can do that, there is a lot of stuff moving around. And there's some things that you don't need to delete off your engines and stuff that they need. Um, I haven't talked to you about this guy, but I'm going to reach out to you. Your overflow tanks on your radiators, you need those, boys and girls. There's a reason why they have an overflow tank on a radiator. You can't take a system that's an open system or semi-open system and make it a closed system. You cannot take the overflow puke jug for a radiator, delete it, and block it off where you don't use it no more. You are looking for major issues. Major issues. Major issues. Let me tell you one more time. Major issues. You cannot do that. Um, I haven't reached out to this person yet, but I am going to reach out to them, but it's on my mind. There's some things you can't delete. Now, if you want to relocate them and hide them and do something completely different, I mean, you could actually get a aluminum, you could actually get a aluminum black anodized overflow tank in the place of the tank that you have, so you don't have the plastic one because it don't match what you got going on. That is completely okay. But to take overflow tank away from your cooling system on your engine, you're taking half of the system away, because what an overflow tank does, it catches your overflow, and it also siphons out your reservoir into your engine, or into your radiator system, your cooling system, when it creates a vacuum when you're running low on coolant. So if you start running hot, if you start running warm, that stuff expands. It has to have somewhere to go. If it don't have nowhere to go, then stuff's going to rupture. Stuff's going to bust. Radiator lines are going to bust, or radiator hoses are going to bust. Gaskets are going to split. You're going to have a blowed head gasket. There is a lot of moving parts and stuff like that. So you cannot shut off a reservoir. You cannot do a reservoir delete on a daily driver vehicle that you're daily driving. We're not talking about race cars. We're not talking about any stuff like that. We're talking about daily stuff that you daily drive. You cannot delete the radiator reservoir, because you're causing problems. You're going to cause problems. I promise you. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. I promise you. I promise you. It's coming. It is coming. And I haven't reached out to the guy, and I know the guy, and I got his phone number, but like I said, it's fresh on my brain, and we just talking about stuff that goes together. So the way it works, the engine runs warm, water expands, it's under pressure due to the radiator cap. You got your little weep hole, up underneath, and when it gets too warm, it's like, hey, look, we got too many people in here. Somebody's got to go. So that's what it is. It's a catch tank, a puke tank. So your overflow, it goes back into your overflow. Then when the engine cools down, it's like, hey, we need that water back. And then it siphons the water back into where it needs to go. That's why the daggone cap has a siphon tube on it and a hose. So it's in and out. It's suck and blow, suck and blow, suck and blow. You got to have that, because think about it. Your daily vehicles you drive, your trucks, your cars, your SUVs, they all got it. So if that's the concept that you're going to delete it on everything you drive. I'm gonna go ahead and show you right here on the tractor. Let me show you right here on the tractor. So everybody that don't know what I'm talking about, will know what I'm talking about. Y'all hang tight. Hang tight and I'll show you. What I'm talking about is this. Ooh, she dirty. She's a dirty girl. See this right here? This is the overflow tank. You have full when it's cold, full when it's hot. Now I need to put a little bit in there and check this out. Before the summer starts, I do a radiator flush every year on the tractor. So the way this works is you got coolant in your radiator, then you got your overflow that's hooked to it, and then here's your puke hose, right? If it gets too crazy in the situation, you have a puke hose, right? It pukes it right on out. But what happens what happens in this little thing, what goes on is when this thing starts getting warm and it starts building up stuff, you have a cold and you have a hot, cold and hot. So when this thing cools back down, it siphons the coolant right back into the radiator system. If it gets too hot, then this right here is where an expansion tank, or it can be called an expansion tank. It's running hot, so this right here lets the pressure off of everything else, so you don't start rupturing thermostat housings, bust a radiator hose or radiator, however you want to say it. This is your expansion tank. When you block this off and seal this, you have turned a open system into a closed system, and you're looking for trouble. You are looking for trouble. You are looking for trouble. Yeah, never cheat cooling and never cheat your brakes. You just can't do it, boys and girls. Let me catch up on this. Let me keep on. Let me catch up on this right here. Two 255 is 10. Yeah, 250. Yeah, 255. Middle number is the profile distance from the rim to the road. It is. It's the aspect of the ratio. The ratio of the tire. The middle number is this percentage of the width of the tire. Yeah. So if it's a 255, 55, 20, the 55 is the ratio of the width. So you got the top and the bottom, and then that's half of what the width is. Sounds like something a true greaseman can. I want a time machine. I want to go. Yeah, I know that's right. Um, I'm catching up on the chat, boys and girls. That's interesting. Didn't know that exists. I'm pretty sure real tires on. Hold on. What's hold on. So what are we talking about? Got to run JG. I hope it's. Hey, saltwater. I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it too. Chapstick on a pig. Let's see. All right. So somebody asked. So basically, no drop. No. You no. You can run a 2 inch. No, you can run a 2 inch. This is a 2 inch drop spindle. So you can run a 2 inch drop spindle with 15-inch rims. Yes, we'll clarify that. So you can run a 2 inch drop spindle with a three. Well, you can run a 2 inch drop spindle with a 15-inch rim. Yes. You cannot run a 2.5 inch drop spindle with a 15-inch rim. You cannot run a 3 inch drop spindle with a 15-inch rim. It won't work. Now, somebody said about these wheels. These wheels right here are www.gunnywheel.com. These wheels right here, these are G45s. I believe so. Yeah, no, yeah, G45s. This right here, these wheels are Chevrolet patterns. These wheels will fit like 40 different Chevrolet patterns, car and truck, small 5 lug pattern. So what these will hold up to 1,290 pounds, and they're solid, right? They got these little bump stops on them. So when I go to roll this thing, it helps me to roll it, right? These are in place of regular wheels and tires. So if a client has a truck, this truck here, when I went to go get it, had no tires. So I had no way to move it. So I took a set of gunny wheels. I put the gunny wheels on there. I bolted them down. Now it's a roller. I can roll it around. These also help if you have a tire that keeps going flat. Who in the world loves a flat tire? Every time you go to the shop to move something, you got a flat tire. So in the very beginning when these came out, I talked junk about them. I said, man, there's no way I'm buying them things because they're expensive. I said, man, there's no way I'm getting them. And then had a conversation with Gunny Wheels, and bam, we got this set, we got another set, we got another set. They are like a pocket on a shirt. So you got G45s, you got G56s. The G56s are for like the big Ford, the big Chevrolet, or they got some for 8 lugs, for K5s, K10s, stuff like that. So that is what these gunny wheels are. And plus, if a client brings me a vehicle and they got some nice wheels on them, and I don't want to get them messed up, I'll take their wheels off and I'll put these wheels on, because I don't care if these get overspray or anything on them, because that's what they're for. They're to move from point A to point B. Um, but I will tell you this: if you leave them in the sun, they'll fade. You see that? They will fade in the sun. But other than that, it's great. Um, this, what do you say, Larry? This is a 1972 C10 with a 6.7 drop kit. We're gonna do a 373 locker, 373 gear system, disc brakes on the back. Going to have their engine rebuilt at the engine shop, have the transmission rebuilt, new brake lines, new fuel line. We're going to get it back running and driving. This right here is a 1970 F100 pickup truck. It's a stock chassis with all QA1 stuff. So that's what that is. You can dip them. I don't know. I don't know about dipping what. I don't know what we dipping. I don't know what we dipping. I don't know what we dipping. Rubber dip as a protectant. Uh, no, I ain't. Oh, you talking about the wheel? Oh no, I'm not dipping anything. I'm like a bull in a china shop, man. All right, since if you yeah, and a lot of new vehicles don't even come with spare tires. So, one last thing I'm gonna show you, boys and girls. Uh, I'm gonna give out some more free information. I've already give it out, but I'm gonna give out some more free information. So I'm always, hey, Glenn, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm always looking for products to let me give a better situation to my clients. Right. I'm looking for better products. Right. So, I found this company right here. They're called, and I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get no commission off of them. I don't have no insinuation program. I'm not affiliated with them. None of that stuff. None of them. None of them. If they want to reach out, reach out. If they don't want to reach out, I don't care. The product looks like it's a real good product. It looks like a real. Hold on, let me get my daggone fingers off her. It looks like it's a real good product, so I'm just going to share it with you. Like I said, free information, free game, right? So the company's called True Mods, right? They're called True Mods, right? True Mods. So they say they are in California. Their website is www.truemods.com. Um, they are in Rancho Cucamonga, California, in the United States. It says made in PRC. Wherever PRC is, I don't know. Don't really care. Um, I will say this though: if you do use this product, just give old JG a tag. Just tag me. Just tag me and say, "Hey, look, I found this product. I was watching JG. Uh, I was watching JG. He showed us this product. This stuff worked out pretty great. And just tag me. That's all I ask. Just tag me." So, this right here, boys and girls, is a power distribution block or a ground block. And it is waterproof. So, it comes with this. It comes with this 4 gauge, 600 volt, cc or 105 temperature power wire, right? Uh well, like I said, it don't matter to me. It's all good. So it comes with very, very nice power wire. It comes pre-bent and it comes in through the bottom. Like I said, it comes in through the bottom and then this drops down like that. So you can mount this, and then here's the waterproof jacket on the bottom. So now you bolt that down. You could use this. They have ground. This is a ground and a power. So if you wanted to use power, you use red. And if you want to use it a ground block, you use black. Also, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 8 connections. So you could do your main ground or your main power here. Then all the lines run up through the bottom here, right? And then you could come over and grab each one of these connectors. And you could use this to supply whatever you wanted to supply, your power source. Also, you can get it with a black cable, 4-aught black cable, and these could be grounds. And then it comes with this weather pack, water sealed situation. You put that on there like that, and it snaps down. And now this is what it looks like. So, yeah, Tulu and Herbert, nice. This is free game. I'm telling you, I just found this. This is free game. If you use it and you don't give me credit, that's okay. If you can live with it, I can live without it. Right. Um, so that, oh, I don't know. So with that being said, that's that, right? Also, I got a label maker coming, right? I got a label maker coming where I can put a label. So what I'm going to do is on the inside, I got this waterproof label maker coming, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, man, I'm giving y'all some free game. I'm going to clean this off with alcohol, right? I'm going to clean this off with alcohol. And I'm going to make a label to go across here. Pin 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna label them. I'm gonna label every one of these holes. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? No, you can order this online. You ain't got to order it from me. No, it's truemods.com. You ain't got to order it from me. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not affiliated with them. They don't pay me. They don't give me kickbacks. They don't give me none of that shit. I found this the other day and I ordered it and I was like, yeah, I got another piece right here. I'm going to show you. It's super nice. Super nice. So what I'm going to do is I got this waterproof label maker coming for electrical wires. And I'm going to make a label to go across here. And I'm going to number these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. And then what I'm going to do on the inside right here, I'm going to make another label on the inside, a label card, and I'm going to laminate it. And I'm going to put on there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Appreciate that, Mike. Appreciate it, Mike. Let's pin that right quick. Let's pin it. I can't pin it, Mike. It won't let me pin it. I'm going to put a card on the inside. So when you pop this out and you look at it, just like on a new vehicle, you pop it and you look and you go, what does number 1 go to? Number 1 goes to a relay. What relay does it go to? It goes to this. I'm going to label everything. I learned my lesson on the Impala. And you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. The Impala had a wiring harness in it that somebody put in there, and it was grafted into the old wiring harness. And instead of me ripping the harness out and starting over, I tried to fix what was there. I tried to modify it. And also, I didn't charge the guy. Not one dime, because I wasn't happy with it. So if I charged him for it, then it would be a bad situation. I didn't charge him for all the chaos of the electrical and the wiring. It was like 3 or 4 days. I didn't even charge him labor for it. So basically I did it for free. When it needs to be ripped out and started all over is what it needs to be done. Right. So this right here is for the F100. So I'm giving y'all a little sneak peek. I got a bunch of shit. Hold on a second. I got something even better for you, Hubert or Herb. I got something better. So this is the first thing that I ordered from them. Now, look at this joker. This right here is the cat's meow. This right here is bad to the daggone bone. Now stay tuned now. Stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Boys and girls, we're on our way to 100,000 subscribers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, this right here is bad to the damn bone. This is a waterproof relay box with six 6-pin relays and fuses. Look at this right here. This thing's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 40-amp relays. 6 pre-wired. They already pre-wired. Pre-wired, waterproofed and packed. Here's the base, right? So this base goes like this right here, like that. And if you was to cut a hole in the firewall, so this would go on there, and then you run the bolts in there and you bolt it down, it's weather packed. Weather packed. So now, and they're labeled. See, they're labeled. See them labels? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 relays, right? So now you can run whatever you want to run, right? And then over here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 fused sections over here, right? Over here. And then right here, it's already pre-wired. Look, it's already pre-wired. So here is all of your fuses, right? All these go to your fuses, and they're numbered. Look, that's what I'm talking about, boys and girls. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left, right, left, right. Ha! Let's get it. Oh yeah, Tulu, this right here is bad. Free game, baby. I could have been petty. I could have been petty and not even shared this with nobody. So these right here are ATC fuses and ATO fuses. So you got a 20 amp, a 20 amp, a 35, a 25, a 10, and a 10. And then here's all your relay stuff. And then here's the instructions. If you don't know how to do it, here's the instructions. So now, what does this mean, right? What does this mean? Man, they got so much stuff on this website. I'm going to order more of this stuff, right? So, and I don't talk prices, but it's worth it. I'm telling you, the money I pay for this is worth it. So now you have, so right here, let me tell you. So you have on the relays, right? So on the relays, you got this little nice Velcro stuff. So here on the relays, you got a blue wire, a yellow wire, a black wire, and a white wire, right? So the blue wire, let's go right here. So the black wire is your ground. That is pin 85, right? Ground, connect to ground can be switched. Energize the relay with the pin 86 connected to power. I always use the ground as my trigger to activate it, right? So you got the ground, right? Now we're going to go to the white. The white connects to the power, can be switched, energizes the relay with the pin 85 connected to ground, must be fused a minimum of 1 amp. So if you're going to use this, you're going to have to fuse this right? So now you have the yellow. The yellow is normally closed, connects to the common where the relay is not energized. Then you have the blue, which is normally open, connects to the common when the relay is energized. And then you have your reds right here. You have your reds for your power coming in to your fuses. Then the reds come out, go to your relays. Your relay takes the whole load because they're 40 amp relays. And then you run to your fans, your horns, your headlights, and all that juke joint. Right? All of that. Also, it comes with the bracket hardware. So you can put these little bins on the bottom so you can actually raise it up. If you didn't want to if you didn't want to cut a hole in something and you just wanted to say, cut a hole big enough, like take a hole saw and cut a hole where all your wires would go through. Like if he's going through your firewall or something and you just wanted to cut a hole just big enough for your wires to go through or whatever, it gives you these little brackets so you can raise it up off the panel. And if you didn't want to mount it flat, but these right here is just some of the stuff I started ordering for the F100. And also I have a full wiring harness for the wire. I have a American powertrain. Yeah, American auto wiring harness for the F100. And it don't have relays in it. And that's why I found this. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you want to take it swimming with you, but I mean, I guess it's waterproof. I mean, it has a seal around it. Um, it's in the engine bay. I mean, I'm not saying put it on a jet ski. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I mean, the engine bay is pretty dry unless you're going to wash it out. I mean, I wouldn't install it upside down. I mean, I'd install it like so, like that. But it's got a pretty good seal around it. I mean, if you was really worried about that seal, you could actually, if you wanted to do a little bit more precaution, you could take some dielectric grease, electrical dielectric grease, and run it around the rim, and then when you go to seal it to itself, not only do you have this rubber O-ring, you also have a little bit of dielectric grease all the way around. Yeah, right there it is. That's the American wiring harness I got. So you can run a little bit of dielectric grease all the way around it, and then that would make it a. Oh no. Well, hold on a second. Let's see. Um, hold on. That's a good question, Slate. Let me see. It says installer of this product must have a good understanding of automotive electronic systems and procedures. It says in some cases holes must be drilled, blah blah blah. Okay, just that whatever. Okay, deployment of area of the vehicle. Don't install them around airbags. Don't use these for airbags. Do not install this product and route around airbag areas. Blah 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 blah. It don't say nothing about that. That's pretty much it. It don't say it says waterproof relay box with 6-pin relays and fuses. So I guess you could just go to their website and ask. I mean, I don't know on that. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question, but I mean, uh, it fastens pretty good. I mean, it leaks. I mean, not leaks. I mean, it fastens pretty good and it snaps. I mean, it takes a little bit of work to get to it. Um, to get it out. Also, it came with this too. It came with this extra, so you can actually this. Um, let's see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in that case, on this, you could. This right here is to your main lug. So you could hook that to that, and this is your power. So you could actually get another one of these, right? You could get another distribution block, right? And wherever this is coming from, you could actually use that, and this is for your hot leg, right? So that's that. And also I got some new straps for my. Hey, hey, we got to take all the resources we can take, man. So like I say, I am not sponsored. I'm not affiliated. They don't pay me. They didn't tell me to do a video. They didn't do any of that stuff. So truemods.com. And they got a lot of other stuff. They got pre-wired switches, like rocker switches. They have pre-wired rocker switches, like if he's going to run some external lights, if he's going to run interior lights, if he's going to put stuff like on side by sides. Um, they have a lot of other stuff as well. But since we're ripping out all the wiring harness out of the 70 F100 pickup truck, and that truck's getting electric fans, it's running a carburetor. It's got a 427 stroker with a 5-speed. It's not having power windows. It's going to have a radio. Every bit of that stuff in that truck, and also the connections that I'm going to use. Appreciate that, Mike. The connections that I'm going to use are going to be new modular ends, like on a new vehicle. Actually, Cars in the Cut showed me where to get those at. Honestly, that's who showed me where those full plugs were. So basically, you slide them in, and then they're weather packed as well. So doing everything modular. So I'm not using the butt connectors. I'm not using the soldering. I'm not doing any of that stuff where you have to cut the wire and stuff. We're gonna put a plug on this end. We're gonna put a plug on that end, and we're gonna plug it together. So if we need to take something apart, we're gonna take the plug loose. We're gonna take the whole unit out. There ain't gonna be no more cutting and splicing and doing none of that shit. We're not doing that no more. We're not doing any of that stuff no more. We're not using these butt connectors. We're not doing none of that stuff. We're going to make everything. It's rated IP65. Hey, I appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, I want to install cab lights on my 72. Hey, then this right here. They have a smaller version too. I think they got a 2 pin. I think they got a 2, a 4, and a 6. 2 bit, 4 bit, 6 bit $1 off for a high school student. I say, yay. So I just went with a 6 because he's going to run. We're going to run electric fans. So we're going to run electric fans. So we got 2 relays, fan 1 and fan 2, right? And we're going to run headlights. So we got another relay, right? So you got high beams and low beams, right? Unless we run it through the wiring harness. If the wiring harness has a relay system for the headlights, because the headlights take a lot of voltage, so you need to run a relay. So we're definitely going to run fan 1 and fan 2 on a relay. All right. So it's got the fuel pump, right? It's got a right here. It has a 300. It's got the 340 Aeromotive fuel pump. Even though it's a carburetor, it's running a fuel pump. So these 2 wires right here, um, we're going to run the fuel pump through the relay system too. So one of these will be fan, and that's why I'm going to label them. Like we're going to label them. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to come in here and we're going to make labels, and we're going to make a chart to drop in here, a laminated chart like fuse 1, fuse 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to drop in there so when the so when the client, if something happens, he can pull the cover off just like your factory vehicle that you're driving and say, oh yeah, slot 1, 10 amp fuse is running my horns or my interior lights. And it's going to be like that. So we're going to have relay 1 is going to be like relay 1 to be fan 1. Relay 2 be fan 2. Relay 3 be the fuel pump. Relay 4, he's not running air conditioner or anything like that. We'll put it, whatever the relays we need to do, we're going to run it on the relay. And we're going to run it through that. And we're going to do that. Oh my God. Hold on a second. Definitely Slate. I did that even. Uh, Florida, man. I'm about to go in there and eat me another one, man. That brisket was off the chain, boy. Brisket subs. Oh my God. You talking about good. Now we're gonna do some brisket tacos, man. I talked to Mike about it. We're gonna press some things on the grill. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Oh yeah, here's the new brake lines for the 72. We got to straighten these out. I did a demonstrating on that the other day. But we're gonna do that. But yeah, yeah, these yeah, let's see. Do you know anyone who makes a dual thing slash? Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, you can get them. I don't know what are we putting it in. Slate. What are we putting it in? What vehicle we putting it in? Chevrolet truck. Autometal Direct has them. Autometal Direct has them. Go check out Autometal Direct. Autometal Direct has them. Oh yeah, the Autometal Direct. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Call Autometal Direct. They just sent me this new catalog. I ain't even went through it and looked at it. Yeah, go check out Autometal Direct. I'm sure they got one. They deal in a bunch of that stuff. So I just want to tap in on that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, this is free game. Like I said, they're not paying me. I'm not a member. I'm not affiliated. I'm not none of that. But like I said, this right here, this block right here is called a waterproof power distribution block bus bar. That's that. And that's that. And all the wires come out through the bottom. And then this part right here is called waterproof relay box with 6 pin relays and fuses. So you got 6 relays and 6 pins. So I don't get a lot of stuff from, I mean, I do get a lot of stuff from LMC, but my big stuff I get from Automail Direct. Like this right here, this tank kits, this is a relocating kit for a 72 C10. I got every bit of this from Automail Direct. Every bit of it. I've got stuff from LMC before, and it just takes too long to get it. I ordered this and got this like 2 days late. 2 days later. So, boys and girls, I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mike. So, I appreciate everybody hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of interested to see how many people watch this video. We are on our way to 100,000 subscribers, boys and girls. Let's get it. It's a nice, cool day here today. It's supposed to be cool the rest of the week. I hope everybody has a great week. Everybody stays productive. Don't get too worried about things. Things really ain't that serious. And be appreciative and say thank you, say please, and hold the door open for people. And remember, I said, boys and girls, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first. So Lucy and Drag. Peace, some chicken grease. I'm out.